Hello, good morning, sports porters. We have indeed reassembled on this very program. Good to see my guys. Look at Bob up there in New York City on youtube.com/ChaseOnsPodcast. He's waving, smiling, kind of. I don't know what's happening. He looks frozen, but he's not. I promise. Yeah. Of the Daily Beast, Robert Silverman. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not too bad. It's a little gloomy here in Knoxville, rainy.
It's some smarch weather. It's some lousy smarch weather, indeed. That's
yeah, because we had I think last weekend it was just gorgeous, and we had this pseudo fall. I don't know. Did y'all get up okay this morning with the time change? Because I've been getting up, like my schedule's kind of flipped the last few weeks.
Daylight savings threw me for a loop. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting it to be this morning. I'd forgotten.
Yeah, it was too soon for me. It was too soon for me.
Also down there. Well, not down there yet. He's going to be down there pretty soon, but still technically up there. Avail.com sports editor Andrew Hammond. Andrew, good morning. How are you?
It's Aham Christmas. Merry Aham Christmas to all of you. And brief explanation of Aham Christmas. The selection Sunday for both men's and women's college basketball, and it is the Oscars. So my two favorite spring pastimes are combining for a fantastic day that only I get to celebrate, nobody else. So
we haven't done an Oscars pod. I had no idea you were an Oscars fan, Andrew.
Oh yeah, I love movies. I watched Top Gun.
It's been a good 3 years. It's been a good. How did this never come up?
It's a good question.
You know, we had to talk about Willem Dafoe and Matlock and Atlanta sports for some reason. I don't know.
Tennessee Volunteer Sports.
We were preoccupied with more pressing matters like, is Trae Young the reason why the Hawks are a mess?
Wow. Well, Marcus Smart, by the way, last night, just juvenile stuff for Marcus Smart. Get him out of here. That was a
minimum. Classic Marcus Smart moment. Getting right in a guy's face and then somehow flopping during a fight. I didn't think that was possible, but Marcus Smart is engineering new frontiers in Marcus Smartdom every game.
He would be a great hockey goon. Literally, he is probably the NBA equivalent of Brad Marchand.
Or I don't know who. I don't know. I'm not enough. I'm not well versed enough in soccer to give a comp, but he's got a soccer boy's flop skills.
Oh, absolutely. He's got like that Italian midfielder who's like really, really annoying. But will flop and let's
just say he's Italian. Let's say Marcus Smart is an honorary Italian.
Well, speaking of, do you know who has an Italian who plays right now? There is an Italian in the NBA who plays.
You mean
honestly, I'm not Gallinari?
It is not Gallinari. Gallinari's not really playing anymore. He's just
he's injured. He's injured.
Yeah, I don't think he's played this year, right?
He signed with the
Celtics.
Andrew Hammond's beloved Boston Celtics. They got hurt. Hasn't played all year. It's not like they really needed him, but whatever.
He was definitely it was kind of how the Warriors would add a guy, and then you completely forget about him until like March or February, and then that player has a string where they get double digits in like 2 or 3 straight games, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I forgot they added that person. He was supposed to be that guy, and then
he was supposed to be the Dario Saric, but now they have Blake Griffin doing that part now. Or Mike Muscala.
Would y'all like me to tell you which team has a current Italian rotation member?
The Utah Jazz.
It is the Utah Jazz. Yeah. Simone Fontecchio? Fontecchio, I guess, is the right pronunciation.
If it's ECCIO, it's Ek. Yeah.
Fontecchio. I'm watching a lot of Sopranos. I'm doing the rewatch with my wife, who's never watched it, so I need to get this down.
Ooh, how far are you guys on it?
We are in season 4, episode. We just did. We're about to get to the Johnny. Like Richie just made the Johnny Sack joke, and that storyline's about to pick up. And it's good. Meadow disappeared to Europe. Carmela's starting to feel Furio. It's exciting times.
She was a hooer.
Thank you, Bob.
That was my best Joe Pantoliano imitation, and I can only do that line.
My wife loves it too. Like, she loves the way that certain things they say. It's top notch, and it's such a delightful show.
I got my mom, who's in her 80s, to watch. I've given her certain shows to chain watch now that they are available on streaming, and she's gone through. She did The Sopranos. She enjoyed it immensely. She also watched Breaking Bad and enjoyed that a lot, and now she's on Mad Men. So she's doing the golden age of
prestige
television series. Yeah.
Where's she at? Where's she at on Mad Men?
She is right now in the beginning of season 4.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah, things are picking up for her. I was gonna say, because like, for people who want to do a Mad Men watch, like, if you can get through the first 2 seasons, that's really just.
I feel like
it's a crawl. The first 2 seasons.
It takes a while to really sort of settle into the rhythms of the show, which are at times, especially compared to late 2000s, like early 2010s television. Mad Men's rhythms are very different and often slow, and often you're sitting there going, well, what's happening here? Why am I watching this? Why is there another 15-second take of John Hamm sort of looking pretty and staring aimlessly at things? And why is that important to me now? But you got to sort of accept the rhythms of.
Yes.
Sometimes this is not a plot narrative driven show. You got to just sort of sit with these uncomfortable feelings.
Also, it kind of reminds me of how people are viewing The Last of Us right now, where people are upset. They're like, oh my God, these 2 filler episodes didn't do anything to move the plot. And first off, I'm like, one, it's a video game.
Yeah.
It's a popular video game that, like, I would say 85% of the actual viewing audience from week to week has either played or is playing now. So it's like, the plot will move forward, but when it moves forward, you are not ready. And, like...
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand people who are disturbed about that show. I've been watching because it's the HBO premium Sunday night slot, so I'm constitutionally ordered to keep up with that sort of thing. I mean, it's fine. It's a perfectly fine show, and it's a zombie show. I can get into that, and it's look, it is. But I don't. They're world building right now. We're 7 seasons in. We're figuring out what this world is, and okay, here are some things. Here's the way this world functions. Although for me, the thing that drove me bonkers about the very tear-jerky episode with Nick Offerman and Armand from the White Lotus. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't believe that they could last 20 years with maybe one important They handled a lot of amenities of daily life really well. I was like, I don't think they survive. I'm sorry. I think they get overrun by marauding bands very soon on in the process of building a life together. My suspension of disbelief alarms just went all off for that. It was like,
I don't think it would last very long in a zombie
same
apocalypse.
thing with the spoiler alert, the glorious socialist paradise they built out west. I'm like, I know, okay, maybe they have a great kibbutz out here and everyone is getting together, but I'm a little too cynical about humanity to think they could pull it off.
Well, I don't know. I'm just cynical about humanity because, me wildly gesture everything that's going on right now.
Right, I was like, wait a second. They went full communist. It works, but.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the video game. I have not played the video game, so I don't know. I don't have any inkling of what might come to the Union of Soviet Socialist Colorado that they've got out there.
I was going to say, I would say that if you're listening to this podcast, or Bob, if you have that same feeling, hey, guess what? Just
wait.
Just keep the same feeling, because just think about that a lot, because I feel like that's gonna be a very important part for next season. Also, I don't think anybody is prepared for next season if they go by the game standards.
Are they going to do 2 seasons? Have they already ordered a second season?
Yeah. Yeah, they did that after maybe the second or third episode.
They did? Oh, okay.
I think there was one HBO show though that went oh yeah, we're gonna order 2 or 3 more seasons after the first season, but I forgot what show it was. It was a show that came out recently. But I am a little bit upset that we are in final season, no more stories world with Barry and Succession. I'm honestly fine with that.
No, I mean, I get it. They should end. They're at a natural ending point, but I want more, and I like those shows, so I'm sad that...
Which one do you think is more likely to end positively for the main cast? Is it Succession
Neither.
or Barry? Do you think both
no. I'm ready for absolute heartbreak.
Maybe you will get a glimmer of optimism for Barry, but I feel like it's going to end extremely badly for both of those shows.
Bill
Hader does not have... Bill Hader is... As we deep further and further into the mind of showrunner Bill Hader, it's a dark, frightening place there. That's what makes that show so good.
But I was going to say, in a good way.
Yeah, I've watched the trailers for both of those shows. Those shows are outstanding.
I still need to watch Barry.
Chase, have you watched Barry?
Oh yeah, no, I love Barry. We're caught up. I love Barry. Barry's fantastic. Good. Love Succession. Caught up there. I'm not. Last of Us is going to be a wait and see. We're doing Sopranos. That's on the back burner. But also, my favorite show that's going on season 2 comes up. We're doing our picks of the week to open the show. We're flipping everything on top of the head
why
here.
Not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not? Who would have thought? Yellow Jackets comes back in.
I still need to watch that
weeks.
show.
It's so good. It is my absolute jam. The intro is a banger. You got the grunge sound. It's just top notch stuff. I also love Lost, and it has a lot of Lost vibes. And if you like Lost and a more well done,
I enjoyed Lost for about 2 seasons, and then it was
when they decided let's go back to the island. That's where
that was even before that. The whole throughout the whole Desmond thing, I was like, you know what? You guys never plotted. You did not storyboard out an actual coherent resolution for this, and you're just making Lindelof. You're making stuff happen, and you don't know why.
Well, hold on. He made up for it with Leftovers. Leftovers was an absolute banger.
Also, another show that I did not watch. I've heard it's good.
Love Leftovers.
It might be too sad for me.
It's extremely sad. Even the ending is sad without spoilers. That is a show that my wife and I mentioned. That's I think that was the show that adjusted how we view what we watch during the day, on the weekends.
I am still saving the Deadwood movie for myself for a special occasion. I still haven't watched the actual Deadwood movie. I'm saving it. I didn't watch it when it happened. I forget why. I was busy that weekend or something. But I have been saving it. It's still there when, I can have little a treat. That's what
I feel like you're going to enjoy. You'll enjoy the movie because you haven't seen it yet. So, you'll get the nostalgic feel.
Whatever criticisms and improper and unfulfilling conflict resolutions were complained about when it first premiered, I let all that go. I'm not gonna Google and figure out what the things are that people are mad about. I've got no collective social media opinion about this show. I'm just gonna have it for myself.
That's the best way to do it, because I feel like in today's space, especially with movies, in movies and TV shows and prestige TV shows,
I have seen.
You have to take out the social media.
I have seen none of the Oscar contenders. I have just none of them. I don't think I've seen a single movie that has been nominated.
I don't know who are the contenders, and I'll see it. Do you know off the top of your head, Andrew?
So Everything, Everywhere,
yes, I know
all
that's
once.
Nominated for tons, and
that's probably gonna win. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Never saw that. What is
it?
It's on Prime.
Yeah, it's a multiverse movie.
Yeah. It's really, really good. Let's see. Tar is dark.
Never saw that.
I have engaged in the entire dark discourse without actually seeing Tar.
I was going to say, Bob, I feel like that's a movie for you. I feel like you would.
I read a delightful New Yorker interview with Todd Field, so I feel like I've seen Tar.
Yeah. It looks like Whiplash. Is it the same as Whiplash?
No, just because it involves classical music does not mean it's the same.
I would.
Hold on, Bob. That was. I'm just saying it looks like an angry teacher of classical music. I didn't know if it was the same.
Not a teacher.
It's not.
You guys,
it's more so a power. It's more so a power. And I look at it as a person who has
no Miles Teller, which is a point in its favor because nobody likes Miles Teller.
What?
Do people not like Miles Teller?
I don't like Miles Teller, so therefore.
As the actor or the person?
Miles Teller's pretentious?
Well, hold on, Andrew. Or hold on, Bob. You need to be careful here because I think Miles Teller is close friends or went on a double date hike a year ago. Was it 2 years ago with Aaron Rodgers? Your new starting quarterback? Are
we shifting into the Rodgers discourse? I was going to bring up Todd Field being the director of Tar, being responsible for Big League Chew.
I didn't know that.
True fact. Huh. Todd Field, as a young boy, was a bat boy with the independent league Portland Beavers. And one of the players on the Beavers saw Todd Field jamming huge amounts of licorice in his mouth so he could pretend that he was chewing tobacco, and he went, "I've got an idea."
Small world.
And that's how Big League Chew was invented. Todd Field does not get any of that sweet Big League Chew money. No, so.
I'm sure if he wins Best Director, he will win some money.
That's my recommendation. Do read the New Yorker magazine interview with Todd Field. Which goes about he has led a absolutely fascinating life. He was an actor and then became a director, and he's an interesting guy, really, really interesting guy.
I like
Todd Field. Todd Field, you may remember as the piano player from Eyes Wide Shut.
Speaking of interesting men,
Aaron Rodgers. It's happening. GIF, you guys. It really is. Andrew, do you have some thoughts? About the New York Jets' future heterodox quarterback?
This feels like Brett Favre all over again.
It is Brett Favre all over again.
And
Brett Favre had a good 9 games with the Jets before his arm turned to guac. Then he was fine somehow with the Vikings for a year. It could work. I just feel I'm upset that I'm going to have to watch Pat McAfee podcast to get information about how my quarterback is feeling on any given Sunday.
Well, you're used to that as a Knicks fan. No one talks with the Knicks, so you're always just has Leon Rose talked in the last year?
No.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on with the Knicks.
No. Leon Rose has not given an interview to anyone but their in-house media organ in 2 years, and that's not going to change.
Yeah,
he will never do it.
So you're used to it.
But I'm just saying, I don't want to have to think oh well, now he's gotten really into watching Russell Brand videos, and how's that going to affect his ability to hit Garrett Wilson on a slant? That's unfortunately now going to be a part of my life.
We're gonna have to set up boundaries, Andrew, for Bob, get through this Jets season.
No. Andrew's gonna send me links.
Oh no,
to awful things.
I'm not gonna send you links to nothing. This is what people wanted. This is what Jet fans wanted. Hey, deal with it.
They look once. Yeah. I mean, Jets fans. The Jets are all in on this. They're going for it. It'll either work or it'll fail spectacularly. I don't see much of a middle ground here.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. I think it'll be fine. I think they'll go to the playoffs.
He is 1 year removed from being an MVP. I don't think it is entirely improbable to think that 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers could have he doesn't have to get back. It just has to be good. He could be good. It's going to be exhausting. It's just
going to be very exhausting.
Like, all of the Zach Wilson, let's just say, the stories about the extracurricular activities with various friends' moms, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. That was hilarious. I am fine being dunked on for, our baby-faced QBs. Let's say
he likes MILFs. Let's just say it. He likes
a
MILFs.
woman. He likes a woman of a certain age. Okay, that's fine. It's funny. I am fine with that. It's going to be. In addition to all the Jetsy stuff, it's just going to be exhausting. Like, I'm fine dealing as an uninterested Aaron Rodgers observer. Partaking in his foibles is fine. When I actually care about how it affects him on Sunday, that's just going to be exhausting.
So, so I have a question, Bob. I have a question because I was wondering about this.
It seems like it's happening. I would be very surprised. There was a report yesterday from Connor Hughes, who is the Jets beat guy at The Athletic. He's now at SNY, and he says that the details, the framework of a trade has been agreed to. So now it's just figuring out whether Hamlet here has made up his mind.
Did you say Hamlet?
I did.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Jets' schedule for next year. I mean, I'm just looking at their opponents. What makes me upset is that, with the Rodgers trade, or with the Favre trade, they essentially had to face...
There wasn't a trade. They just signed him as a free agent.
Yeah. But, so basically it was, they had to deal with, Jets of Jet quarterbacks of the past. Yes. And, Chad Pennington kind of gave them that karma, that karma beatdown or whatever at the end of the season.
You're saying this is Chad from Marshall's fault. Somehow Chad Pennington's bad vibes and
Well, I'm just saying, but what ended up happening was Chad Pennington drove the stake in the Jets' hearts with that performance.
Because he had one half decent year with Miami. Okay, yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, but there's nothing on the Broncos schedule or the Jets schedule that's giving those vibes, and that makes me very upset.
You want a Jets-Packers game? You want a Jets-Packers game?
No, I don't even want a Jets-Packers game. I feel like a Jets-Packers game would suck. It's oh yeah, look at all the hype behind this. Yeah, but there's nothing sexy about it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm telling you, if we've learned nothing from Aaron Rodgers, it's his ability to create intrigue where none seemingly exists.
So I'm looking at the schedule, and I
feel like the schedule is irrelevant. Aaron Rodgers is on his own schedule, man. You're caught in this three-dimensional reality of who did they play on Sunday, and that he's on a different.
No, I'm just because he spent 4 days in the darkness eating mushrooms.
Which who among us has not spent 4 days in the darkness? We just didn't pay some yurt owner,
same,
6 figures for the privilege of doing so.
Who am I to judge? That's what you're basically saying. I'm just I don't know. Maybe look, it makes the AFC East halfway intriguing now.
I think it was intriguing last year. It wasn't.
It was boring.
The AFC East has a lot of good teams. The Bills are the Bills. If Tua is healthy, the Dolphins should be good, should be solid again. Belichick will always figure out a way to make the Patriots part of the conversation. And then there's the Jets. That's a tough division.
You can make the case it's the toughest division, top to bottom. And
no.
Andrew, who's the counter? Who would you say is tougher, top to bottom, where it's that close, 1 through 4? I guess maybe the AFC North.
Yeah, I would go AFC North.
Depending on what happens with the Baltimore Ravens.
It's true.
I would go.
Jay, speaking of quarterbacks, how do you feel about your Atlanta Falcons preemptively coming out and saying, no, we aren't going to make an offer for Lamar Jackson because the league has decided to collude and feels very strongly that no quarterback should get a $250 million guaranteed contract. So they are nudge, nudge, wink, wink, not going to offer Aaron Rodgers something that the Baltimore Ravens can match. How do you feel about that? Quarterback liker, Chase Thomas, Desmond Ridder. How do you feel about that?
Look, the discourse.
See, I turned it on you. We're in Aaron Rodgers. We left Aaron Rodgers. We're strictly in Lamar Jackson zone.
Okay. The collusion part of it, I think it's giving a lot of owners way too much credit.
I don't think it's collusion. I just think they're all collectively not cool with playing players what they're worth. And here's an opportunity to draw a line in the sand.
I think
I don't think they met at the Bohemian Grove and cobbled together a plan not to do it. I just think they're all of a similar, the money belongs to me mindset.
Well, I also think here's
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers.
Well, okay. I can speak specifically about the Falcons in this. Lamar Jackson is going to cost 2 first-round picks. That is part of the deal. That is part of bringing in Lamar Jackson.
For a 26-year-old MVP,
make the case.
Go on.
Well, I would say the Atlanta Falcons, you can make the case, have...
the conscientious team-building strategy put forth by the Atlanta Falcons means this would be skipping a step, and you don't want to acquire...
No, I'm serious.
Lamar
that's a part
Jackson
of it.
Because, oh no.
Yes, that is part of it. That is a part. You are skipping a couple steps. I don't, as someone who watches the Falcons week over week, Bob, I'm telling you, Lamar...
We might be able to draft large Iowa lad Lucas Van Ness, and so we can't have Aaron Rodgers.
No,
we need short-armed offensive tackle Peter Skoronski, so we can't have Lamar Jackson.
Again, though, that's more important. Drafting offensive
tackle. Knowing. I'm unpacking my draft knowing skill.
I was going to say, did you go through Dan Brugler's draft?
Yes, I did. Draft top 100 and his updated mock. Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Attaboy.
Yeah. See, Hendon Hooker might sneak into round 1 if he doesn't get injured. He's going round 2, which is just the amount of Vols that are going day 1 is just top.
It reminds you of the early 2000s, doesn't it?
It feels like 98. What have we always been saying on this podcast, Andrew? It feels like 98.
T. Martin did nothing wrong, that he deserved a shot. Is that what we're saying?
Hold on. T. Martin was a legend. We have T. Martin Boulevard. I use a T. Martin signed Tennessee card as my bookmark, like a player card.
That's fair.
No, T's a legend.
Okay,
that's adorable.
Love T.
All right, I'm saying the Atlanta Falcons should go for it.
I disagree, and I don't think. And part of it, too, is the injury stuff. I think Lamar, we're nearing the end of Lamar just being... I think Lamar right now is a top 5 quarterback. I think he is a 5th. He raises the bar for a lot of these teams. For Washington, more of a win now where it's Ron Rivera, you're coaching for your job a little bit. You should be in there. I think every franchise should be looked at individually of does he make sense for them?
Personally, for me, I would say the Jets rather than...
Yes, the Jets are another good example.
Rogan.
Yes.
I was going to say then throw Rogan.
Yeah. But see, that makes more sense. But I'm saying the Falcons, he does not make sense.
The Falcons, I don't think he makes sense either. I think cosmetically, yes, but structurally, you have to at least see what Desmond Ridder gives you beforehand.
I don't think you need to see that, but... Okay.
No, and I say this from a building standpoint of you essentially did XYZ to get Desmond Ridder here.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do X, Y, and Z. You took him in the mid rounds.
I'm just saying. If you wanted a quarterback of the future, okay, sure, let's go with it.
Yeah.
To me, I think the Falcons maybe waited. I'm not saying that because they had to do it. They had to get a quarterback. So it's one of those situations where it's the timing just didn't work. Look, they can say, hey, Desmond Ridder, guess what? You're going. Bye. But at the same time, if Lamar doesn't work out, then all of a sudden you kind of look and you aren't exactly in a position to go all in for Lamar Jackson. You really are.
They're not a quarterback away. And I think the Jets are a quarterback away. I think the Dolphins are a quarterback away. The Falcons are not a quarterback away. And the time it takes, Lamar would be burning his final couple years of being an MVP type quarterback with a team that can't
You
win.
guys are assuming that the 26-year-old
He's played 16 games in the last 2 years. Like, he hasn't finished, and there was stuff about like whether or not he could have even played in the playoff game. Like, that's weird. Like, I don't know. I like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is probably the 5th best quarterback in this league. I just don't think he makes sense for everybody, and I don't think he makes sense for Atlanta. And I also think it's fair for team or general managers to be nervous about a bunch of guaranteed.
Who are the 4 who are better? Mahomes,
Allen,
Burrow,
and
Herbert.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. No.
Anyone else?
I don't
think he's better than Herbert.
I think he's better than
I don't. Yeah,
that's it.
Right? I would slide Hurts in
and Hurts. Yeah, thank you.
I would not take Hurts over Lamar Jackson. I think even the Eagles.
I think if you put Lamar, I would put Lamar 4, Hurts 5. Justin Herbert to me is just okay.
Look,
I know what I'm getting.
Oh, also I would put Trevor Lawrence above a couple of these. I think Lawrence is flirting with that. Like the Lawrence comeback. Like
already?
Yeah, Lawrence is right there. And if he's top 5 unequivocally this year, that would not surprise me at all.
I mean, I get it. Like he's in that space. I would put.
Yeah, he's ready to make a jump. He's still,
Yeah. My thing is, if he actually does take said jump, because I feel like we have like a lot.
I mean, he kind of took the said jump at the end of last year. Like what he was at the end of last year was very, very good.
I want to see him. I want to see him in a second year with Doug Peterson. That's actually one of like the. If I had to like rank like things I'm looking forward to this season,
yeah, he's gonna have Calvin Ridley at wide receiver this year, assuming Calvin Ridley
talk about that.
As a bounce back after a year off. I would bet on
his
that.
sabbatical, his semi-seclusion to.
Well, hold on. Can we say though about Calvin Ridley? Go read his piece in the Players Tribune. Was one of my favorites. Yeah. I wish nothing but the best for Calvin. Like that, it's a really great piece, and go read the Players Tribune piece on him. No hard feelings at all towards Calvin. But to put a bow on the Lamar to the Falcons stuff, it's like I think it's just there's teams who went immediately out where it's like y'all are insane. Like Washington putting out like what are you doing?
Nobody's going to make a bid. At this point, it doesn't matter because it seems fairly clear. Look, we can argue about whether or not the Falcons should go for it. I say yes because going towards school. Chase does because he's wearing khakis and a half zip and is going to cosplay as the general manager the rest of the morning. And so
this
he
is
says
an
no.
Orvik. This is a cozy little cozy pull. It's a quarter zip, but it's like a cozy quarter zip. It's more of the mountain man quarter zip, not the what's his name? Chris Johnson? Is it? No, what's Woody's brother who's been running with his all of his
Christopher Johnson. Yes.
Christopher Johnson, yeah. That's more
Eleanor Rigby. That's the guy. Christopher Johnson took over the Jets while Woody was working for Trump.
Nobody Ireland? Cares. Is he in the UK somewhere? Where did he go?
Yeah, he was the ambassador to Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, was that under 45?
That was.
Yes. Yep. But he's back, right? Isn't he back? Like,
he is. He is. He didn't. He took that sweet ambassador to Ireland gig, and now he's back. We're back on Jets talk again. I didn't plan.
Well, hold on. We can pivot out quickly. You ready for this, Andrew?
Yeah.
Gut reaction. Who won the trade between Carolina and Chicago?
Ooh.
Can I say both?
Yeah, you can say both.
Yeah.
It wasn't an insane amount.
Like
first overall pick.
Both teams got what they needed. Carolina got what they were going to get. Now they aren't in the Anthony Richardson, Will Levis land. That
they might still be in the Anthony Richardson, Will Levis land.
You never want to be there. Bob is over there because Bob did not watch Anthony Richardson and Will Levis in college.
I swear to God.
This is part of my NFL draft knowing.
Okay, Bob,
the players.
Bob, this is a safe space, okay, Bob?
Okay, I'm just telling you.
When you watched Anthony Richardson at the combine, did you just
yes.
were you just in love watching Anthony Richardson at the combine?
That was a great combine, Brent.
Okay, I want you to remember that feeling.
Okay,
and then in mid October, when Anthony Richardson decides to go full Anthony Richardson, and Chase knows what I'm talking about.
You're saying he's a modern day Mike Mamula. He's a workout warrior, or an Adam Archuleta. He's a workout warrior.
Mean, if he pulls that, and he goes full Anthony Richardson, if you get the Anthony Richardson experience for whatever team, I'm just gonna go, hey, remember everybody going goo goo and gaga.
I am not as a draft knower. It is not my job to say how this. It is not my job to explain how this will or will not work out. That's someone else's ballywick.
I get
my lane is saying, oh yes, they could take Anthony Richardson first. I just want to be on record as saying when I said Anthony Richardson, I think like 2 months ago I was saying Anthony Richardson is a lock. Anthony Richardson is a lock to go top 10. I would just like some credit for being preemptively
yes, you did, and we were sitting here telling you, Bob, you don't need to do this.
Because you are enjoying the draft incorrectly by watching players in college football. That is not how one gets into the NFL draft. Into the Kuiper McShay zone.
No.
You don't do it by eating tape. You do it by reading Kuiper and Richardson.
Here's the problem with that. And all these little draft nicks who really
like don't... Me. Who don't know what they're talking about? Correct. I don't.
It's like
we know the draft.
It's like watching a director, or it's like watching an actor's series of movies. I'm sorry, you did Tubi movies and BET Plus movies for 4 years. You weren't that great. I'm supposed to make you an Oscar-nominated actor?
That's right. I had a 2-season run as a character on a spin-off of Power. I'm not sure which one it is because I never watched Power.
I want to see Bob on Power now. That's my goal for the next. Yes. That's my goal for the entire decade now. I need to see Bob as a 3-episode arc on Power. Just give me a 3-episode arc on Power, and then you can kiss Lala or something. I don't know.
Like professional, far right crank Michael Knowles. There are clips of me acting in various short films and independent cinematic productions that you can find on the internet. I am not encouraging Chase Thomas fans to go all 4chan and dig in and try to find
we need to pull Bob's SAG card.
I never got it. I didn't get a SAG card. I was in non-union stuff. I did not get my union card, much to my dismay. But I was. I acted.
You got to talk to Fran Drescher about that.
I guess so. But let's just say that those clips exist. If you wanted to swing of eating some tape, but anyway, draft goes. I think at this point it seems like after the combine, it's probably going to be C.J. Stroud, which is a good, solid conservative pick. But they could. But look, at this point last year, no one was. Everyone was like, "Oh, Trayvon Walker, yeah, he looks good. I guess he'll be going in the top 5." But nobody thought the Jaguars were going to take him first overall until the last week or so. It's the same way with Baker Mayfield. People forget that people forget.
Oh yeah,
Baker
that was a complete surprise.
Baker was a surprise.
3 days before, I remember it was 3 days before the draft, and because the Jets had just traded up to 3rd to draft Sam Darnold, ha 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 ha, jokes on us. I was thinking, okay, well, people were talking about Mayfield to the Jets because the assumption was people was looking more like Darnold was going to go first overall.
Because I think there was a picture of the Haslams with Sam's parents or something up in do you remember that rainy shot of them at the pro day where it's they're just over there with the family? It's that seems like a done deal. But they didn't do that.
Well, but for me, it was I always felt Baker was going to be the number 1 pick because, of course, you look at system fit, and for me, Darnold just it's kind of like Will Levis for me in terms of I see it and I get it. But I'm just not sure if that's the best fit. And for me, that's what I feel about Will Levis. After maybe everything pretty much after the Lions at 6. I don't think the Lions are going to get a quarterback. By the way, I just want to look in the camera to everybody watching and listening to this. The Lions are not going to draft a quarterback.
Christian Gonzalez. If he's there, Christian Gonzalez is going to be the line pick.
That's exactly what they need to do. But I look at the quarterbacks
and
after
draft nowhere
6. I figure like after the Lions go at 6.
It's got 2 thumbs and knows the draft.
Bob, yeah.
What if Bryce? I wonder if the Falcons would go Bryce at 8 if he fell. Like CJ goes 1 to the Panthers, and then 2 teams talk themselves into Will and Anthony, and then Bryce is just there because teams are afraid of the 5-10 measurables.
Bryce Young isn't Bryce Young. I don't think Bryce Young is dropping out. I really don't think. I think it's Houston's going to take him.
Yeah.
My Bob's mock right now, top 5. I think it's going CJ Stroud 1, Bryce Young 2. Will Anderson 3, 4. So if it's not Indianapolis taking him, someone trades to 4 for Anthony Richardson. 5 is the Seahawks are again going to poo-poo any character concerns and go for Carter.
Will Anderson though, so he's falling. You don't think Will Anderson goes top 5? Now if he falls to 8,
I think Will.
If Will Anderson
goes 3 to the. No, Will Anderson goes 3 to the Cardinals. I was going to say, I may have skipped the number 3.
Yeah, if Will Anderson, if Detroit has the chance to get Will Anderson, they are. Dan Campbell will be rushing to the draft stage himself.
So just like he did with Hutchinson, where he was like, "Get out of my way."
Well, with
Stauskas. That was 12 years ago when they ran in the Kings media. Remember the War Room, the Stauskas stuff? That was
Shout out to
the Kings right now.
If Will Anderson is, I look at the West and I'm just like, okay, this is all setting up for another Warriors run. But no, if Will Anderson goes...
No, it's not setting up for another Warriors run.
It is, Bob. It is, Bob. Nope. I'm just getting myself mentally ready.
Soft, but no.
God, I trust nobody.
I might be getting Sacramento Kings pilled at this point. I'm sorry. I might be beam pilled.
I was gonna say we don't call him Light the Beam Silverman for nothing.
Yeah.
Bob, I'm sorry. That team is yourself.
That team is extremely fun to watch.
Look,
and cool.
They're fun. They're enjoyable. But to quote Kristen Wiig and Dewey Cox, it's not that I don't think you can't do it. I just know you're gonna fail. Like I look at the West. That's how I look at the West. It's like it's not that I don't believe in you. I just know you're gonna screw it up.
Rehab.
I just know Denver. I don't trust Denver.
Rehab.
Rehab. I don't trust Denver. I don't trust as Chase is trying to collect himself.
By the way, not to get pissed at arbitrary internet lists because that's what they're designed for. But Walk Hard falling at 42 on the top one on the Rolling Stone top 50 fake songs that have been in movies and TV shows. That is a travesty.
Yeah, thank you.
I am appalled by that.
I don't even know it's number 1, but
no, I don't care.
That should at least be top 5.
Walk Hard, the title track, is a banger.
Walk Hard as a movie. I would argue
slaps.
I would argue Walk Hard is maybe the top 5 most underrated movie in the last 25 years.
Walk Hard is a better movie biopic as a satire than any actual movie biopic. It is brilliant. Yes.
Thank you.
You know, it's almost been 3 years since y'all got me to watch it with my wife for the first time. Like, this was when we first
welcome.
It's been 3 years.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. It was during Quar, and I said, you need to watch this movie. It's not some, like, Froofy Bob movie or something like that. It's just hilariously funny.
That's still one of the hardest times I've ever laughed in watching a movie.
It nails the biopic genre so well. It was like, hey... You know all those music biopics you love? Hey, guess what? We're going to do it better.
It's a formula.
And then it works as a show basically for Righteous Gemstones because it's basically Righteous Gemstones is just like a Dewey Cox show.
Meets Jimmy Swaggart. Yeah.
Yes.
Also,
Uncle Baby Billy has a lot of those same vibes, and Uncle Baby Billy is still my favorite television character.
Walton Goggins really should have been in Walk Hard somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know how they miscast that. He should. I mean, he was still doing.
You know what?
He was still in his I'm playing scary goons mode at that point.
Yeah, that was not his thing. He needed to move on. That was not your deal.
Yeah, he was. That was, I think, the first year he was on Justified.
Justified, yeah.
Jamie, look up Walton Goggins on IMDb and find out if he was already on Justified at that point. I think he was.
So Jack White did a really good Elvis.
He's the best Elvis. He is the best on-screen Elvis we've seen in the 21st century. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the Elvis movie?
I saw it like 15 minutes and then I turned it off because it was just too Baz Luhrmann. I couldn't.
Yeah, here's the thing. I got past because Baz Luhrmann's gonna Baz Luhrmann all over a movie.
Yeah, like you can with the. There's Moulin Rouge, delightful. It's fun to watch. It is a sensory overload, and you can only handle so much. But sure,
that's
fine.
how I feel about The Great Gatsby. Like I can't.
Well, I couldn't handle.
I
that.
couldn't
First
watch
Romeo
it,
and Juliet is fun though.
Yeah,
is that Johnny
the
Depp?
Romeo?
No,
Romeo plus Juliet. It's young Leo DiCaprio,
and Claire Danes,
and John Leguizamo is in it. And
a whole bunch of people are in it.
A whole bunch of people in it. Paul Sorvino is in it. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he's in that. Yeah.
Yeah. The first Romeo and Juliet is a fun adaptation of a Cliff Notes versions of Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's our Oscar talk here
on
the Sports
Flesh. Thou art fishified.
There you go. Well, I've already done my pick of the week. Have we done pick of the week? Do we need to still do it?
We did it at the top.
Yeah, we did it at the beginning.
I'm going to watch the HBO Premium broadcasting and eat up that slop like a good little piggy, and Andrew's going to watch the Oscars. We have our pick of the week out.
There you go. Well, anything to plug, Andrew, on your end, AL.com? Anything across the board you want to plard?
It really sounded like you said AOL.com. And I was like, is Andrew going to be in a chat room somewhere?
Yes.
We're bringing it back. Chat rooms are back.
Yes. NCAA tournament stuff.
Andrew borrowed a disc from his mom, and he's gonna get a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go right ahead.
I was like, damn, that's accurate. I would say, a lot of stuff. Alabama going to be a number 1 seed. Not going to be, might be number 1 overall. I still wouldn't give them the number 1 overall seed.
Selection Sunday. Yeah, that's right. Andrew mentioned it at the top of the show, and I forgot already. Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of talk. So it's going to be a busy week, busy but fun week.
There you go. And the important thing to remember when Alabama gets to number 1 overall seed is just remember what happened on the 3rd Saturday of October in 2022. Whenever you're feeling doom and gloom about Alabama just taking over the sport of basketball along with football, just remember what happened on the 3rd Saturday of
Andrew,
October.
Who is the greatest college basketball player in Alabama Crimson Tide history?
Brandon Miller.
Who would you say? Mm-hmm.
I would say...
I don't know if we could pick up one in...
Robert Ory.
Ory's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean...
There haven't been a lot, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a question, an interesting question.
I mean, you could... I feel like when you look at the history of Alabama basketball, there are...
Well, Bob, we're simpatico, Tennessee and the Knicks. Allen Houston, Bernard King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ernie Grunfeld.
Yes. Yeah.
According to Ranker.com, the greatest Alabama college basketball, your source for all Alabama college basketball news. Oh no, they're just listing college football players. I don't think you can look at this on the internet.
Like there's.
When you go to AlabamaBasketball.com, Alabama football.
Okay, who is the? Why can't Avery? What did Avery Johnson?
Avery Johnson was a head coach.
I was going to say
he played at UTEP.
Okay, right.
I think you could maybe go. Yeah, I was like, maybe you go Reggie King. Maybe Mo Williams.
Is the one I was trying to figure out. I was like, I know there was a good guard.
I think you could there's been a lot of really good players, but I
get the answer, and I can't believe I missed this already. I got it. Ready? Greatest Alabama college basketball player of all time. Latrell Sprewell. I thought that Spree went to Alabama, and I'd forgotten, like, oh yeah, he did. Spree.
I never knew that. I forgot. Okay.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
He's 52 now.
Yeah.
Remember when he choked old PJ?
Yes, I do. That was hilarious. I remember that because that was. There were about a week's worth of truly unhinged New York Post columns when the Knicks were trying to figure out if they should trade for Latrell Sprewell, and there was some. Let me tell you, the New York Post editorial staff was in high dudgeon about trading for a guy who committed this heinous crime. So it was.
What a time! What a time!
Look, PJ told him to put some mustard on a pass. I'm sorry. Sometimes that means you're going to get choked.
Is that what he actually said? Is that the report?
Yeah. The report is that the thing that set Latrell off was PJ Carlesimo during practice saying, "Put some mustard on that pass."
That's a line too far, Bob.
Yeah.
Maybe
He knew he was a
Latrell
ketchup guy.
Sprewell is.
He
I
knew
would
he
say
was all
maybe
about the
Latrell
relish.
Sprewell. Oh God.
He's from Milwaukee, so you would think he would know mustard, but
Your favorite mustard on 3 as we wrap up here. 1, 2, 3.
Honey.
Classic yellow.
Either honey or spicy.
I don't like the spice.
honey mustard isn't really a mustard, man. That's mustard.
Yeah,
with
honey
something.
mustard I don't put in the mustard family.
I like a Dijon. I like a nice Dijon.
Honey mustard's the king. It's the king sauce, but it's just not. I don't put
but
it
it's
in.
not honey mustard is not a type of mustard.
No.
Like the meme about the guy and his dipping mustards. That honey mustard isn't one of them.
No. Like you can't dip into mustard. You can dip into honey mustard. That Andrew is so offended by this. It's okay. Barbecue sauce and honey mustard. That's all you need. Like I could eat chicken tendies every day with those two.
But
things.
like,
That's all I need.
but barbecue sauce isn't a kind of ketchup, Andrew. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not.
It's
Yeah,
not.
that's what's in it.
No. I've never. Okay, so spicy
That's what
brown
I'm saying.
mustard. Okay,
That's what you're missing.
fine. I'm
Creamy
gonna go
brown.
Latrell Sprewell on you, Bob. Love you, bud.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
As we circle it back.
Put some mustard on that podcast question. Say it with your chest.
Bye, Bob. Bye, Andrew.